appreciate it. We want to get back to that breaking news now. Less than 20 minutes ago, the 16-year-old accused of crashing a stolen Kia that killed 4 teenagers in October was back in court. 2 on your side's Heather Lee was in the courtroom and has the latest on what a judge just decided. Heather.
Hi there, Kelly. Good morning. When we were walking into the courtroom earlier this morning, I heard a woman who was walking alongside Julian Armstead, sort of coaching him on how to act and what to do, what to say, what not to say in the courtroom this morning. At one point saying, quote, "This is a very important moment in your life." And indeed it was. Within the hour, Judge Egan ruling that this case will stay in adult court, despite the defense attorney's attempt to have it moved to family court. What we still do not know this morning is whether or not the 16-year-old, again, Julian Armstead, will be sentenced as an adult or potentially granted youthful offender status. That would reduce a possible sentence in the future. Well, this morning in the courtroom, there was a lot of focus on Chandrea Edrington. That was the teen who was hurt in this crash. When making the case for why this case should remain in adult court, the prosecution talked a lot about the severity of her injuries and argued that she did not know the vehicle was stolen and therefore was not a participant in the crime. This morning, we learned that she fractured her back and had a long open wound to both her head and her face, the prosecution classifying that as significant physical injury and disfigurement. Again, more reason in their mind to keep this case in the higher court. The defense attorneys, however, arguing quite the opposite. At one point, the defense attorney saying that just because someone says, quote, "No one in the car told me it was stolen," that doesn't necessarily make that a defense. In the end, though, the judge siding with prosecutors and again keeping this case in adult court. Armstead remains free in the custody of his grandmother. The judge, before we exited the courtroom, went over the terms of his release and says that if he violates any part of that agreement between now and his next court date, she could rethink bail. He's due back in court on February 1st. Reporting live outside of Erie County Court in downtown Buffalo, Heather Lee, Channel 2 News.